Hello everyone and welcome to How to Play ARK with Friends. The behemoth of a challenge that is ARK is ginormous. It is incredibly difficult to understand what you're doing, especially early on, and if you're a first-time player. There's so much to struggle with and try to figure out, but one thing can make that all better: playing with friends. And today, we are going to cover how to set up servers to play with your friends. So, let's get started. Playing ARK in multiplayer. Playing in multiplayer seems like the entire goal, right? Well, let me explain what I mean. There are a number of ways that you can connect to different servers, whether you're hosting your own or having a third party host it like our servers. There's also ways that you can play just on a random server with friends, but with very little knowledge of what that server is or does, it can be a sketchy thing to say the least. But the one cool thing is, all of these different platforms do have different ways to do crossplay, so you don't have to worry about that. Renting a Nitrado server. If you were to make the decision to rent a Nitrado server for your ARK gameplays, there are a lot more things that come with that, such as different games that come with your server, and at a fairly cheap price, it's pretty easy to set up. Not only that, you get access to different mods with ease, as well as backup saves, just to name one thing that we offer in our dashboard. There's no need to worry, and you and your friends can rest easy if you were to rent a server with us. I may be biased, but that's my favorite way. Host your own dedicated server. Of course, you can host your own dedicated server, but there are a number of reasons why this is a good and bad thing. It's a fairly simple process, you just have to go through the basic run dedicated server in the menu, but the things that you need to worry about are some pros and cons, and so let's point them out. The basic pros of hosting a dedicated server is that it's easy, free, and pretty simple to understand, but the con is that the computer's resources that you're hosting on are being used, so you can't really play it while you're trying to host as well. If that's something that doesn't bother you, or you have a secondary computer, I recommend this. Hosting a non-dedicated server. Now you may be asking, Nitrado guy, what's the difference between a dedicated server and a non-dedicated server? Well, think of dedicated servers as the third-party system and non-dedicated servers as a single-player world that you're allowing your friends to join. These pros and cons are a little bit tougher in my opinion, because if your computer is too weak, the server is too. This in turn means that your friends will have a hard time playing on your non-dedicated server. So, if you happen to have a good connection and a good computer, you should be good to go with this method. Playing co-op style. This is the classic, of course. You play a single-player game on a console specifically, and you can manage to set it up so that you can play split screen. This is a great way to play, despite it feeling maybe a bit cramped. This way, you and your friend have no problem connecting to each other, you both have everything you need right in front of you, and you can communicate in real time. It's a lot of fun, and a fun throwback to the way that we used to play games, instead of all this online mumbo-jumbo that we deal with now. Conclusion. As you can see, there are a number of ways that you can play ARK online with your friends. Whether you decide to host your own server, play co-op, or get a Nitrado server, any of these will do just fine, as long as you're willing to weigh out the balances of the pros and cons of each one. By the way, if you liked this video tutorial, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and ring that notification bell so that way we know this is the content you like to see. Until next time.
Huh.